Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we make two original story movies and only one of them is really any good. My name is Matt. With me, from the Demon Realm himself, Bill Barber.
This is the fun part because now I'm not sure which one is the good one, which one is the bad one.
Well, I mean, they're both enjoyable, but one of them definitely had better writing. That's for sure.
That's still, I'm so confused because they're both very. We'll find out when we get there. But anyways, I'm good. I'm very tired.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's been it was a long week, and then I went to go see Superman last night. So that was
How was it?
Excellent.
It was
good. That was the most fun I've had going to see a superhero movie since Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I never saw Endgame in theaters. They had to, and Infinity War left me kind of feeling like.
Did you see Superhero in theaters? That's a superhero movie.
Yeah, I don't count that one though. That was more. That was more.
It's in the title. I mean, shit. So I don't know. Maybe that'll be a fun thing. Like, because obviously we have our next round of superhero movies that we have to do. By the time we circle back around to DC after like this next round, maybe hopefully by then, the new Superman will be available, and then we could do like the newest Superman and the newest Batman. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I still have to watch the Batman. I haven't
watched it either, but I have it on my hard drive, so it's ready to go whenever I want to watch it. So.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
no, it was a great movie though.
That's good. That's encouraging. maybe this newest iteration of the DC cinematic universe will actually be decent.
They actually understood the characters. That's like the best way to put it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's good. So I've been reading Chainsaw Man this past week.
I saw. How's that been going?
It's go. I just finished volume 12. So I'm in like actual part 2.
So you've been introduced to Asa and Yaru.
Yeah, I knew that the main character changed and that like the tone was going to switch. Well, maybe not the tone, but you know what I mean. Like the general vibe of the show was going to switch up a little bit. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't think I had any expectations because the show is just so fucking bonkers to begin with. But like, I don't know how. I'm just barely in it at this point, so I don't really know what to say or think. But I guess only time will tell. But I don't know if I like this character as much as Denji.
I love Asa, so we'll see where it goes.
Although
Denji.
That scene though at the beginning of her introduction, where like we had the whole thing with the chicken in the classroom, and like she's just like, oh, I hate everyone, I hate my life, everything sucks, devils are stupid, and then like she finds like the chicken remembers her name, and she's like, oh my god, somebody other than the teacher remembers my name. Maybe I just wanted friends all along. And she's like running with the chicken in her arms, like, yes, I will be part of the group now. And she trips and fucking crushes the chicken to death. And like somehow its fucking like entrails ended up all over the place. I don't know how the fuck that happened just by tripping on a chicken, but it's just like the look of horror on everybody's faces. I was like, oh my god! Right after they decided not to kill the chicken.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You'll learn reading on that Asa's life kind of sucks.
I can already tell that. I mean, I just got like the little bit where it kind of showed what happened to her mom.
Yeah.
Like she saved the cat, and then her mom pushed her out of the way because she's stupid and apparently trips every time it counts.
I think the darkest scene is when you find out what happened to said cat.
That's fair. I haven't gotten that far yet, so.
Okay, you didn't get there yet. Okay. You'll find out. Also, like, spoiler warning for anyone who's like only seen the anime, but don't get attached to like any characters in this fucking series.
Yeah, I was very upset when a few specific things happened. And I'm glad. Yo, the wrap up to the Makima shit was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to say it. I mean, I know we usually spoil the shit, but we're not actually here to talk about Chainsaw Man, so I don't want to just fucking spoil it out of nowhere. But like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah, it that does not go where you expected it to go, especially because the anime sets up all this stuff, and then the farther you get, you realize, oh yeah, all that shit pointless.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Turns out that wasn't what this was about in the first place.
Yeah.
That was just stage dressing. Like, oh great. That's just fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so
at least I
that's
know
fun.
what the movie's gonna be now.
Oh, the Rezark. Yeah, that'll I get why they're doing it as a movie, but I just wish they didn't take so freaking long.
Yeah, I feel like they waited so long that the hype is just kind of dead at this point.
Yeah.
Because it was
Unfortunately.
super hyped up when it came out initially, and then it took so fucking long for them to make the movie. And now, like, I feel like nobody talks about Chainsaw Man anymore.
No. Well, I mean, there's people that are still reading it, but like I think the general consensus of people who are reading it are like this book's getting weird.
I mean, it was kind of weird from the beginning, so
Yeah, but now it's really weird. Like there's so many plot threads going on now that I don't even know where the fuck the story's going anymore.
well, I'll catch up eventually. Like I said, I just finished volume 12, and I took 13 through 17 out from the library, and then once I finish 17, I'm just gonna read the rest of the Shonen Jump app until I get caught up. So,
Yeah.
yep.
That's it's a fun one.
And I also saw that the library has the first 2 volumes of Free Run, so I think I might pick those up after I finish Chainsaw Man, and because I can just request the later ones because I think they're up to like what 13 right now in English, something like that.
Something like that.
And I don't know how much the anime covers, but I definitely want to know more. And I mean, we're supposed to be getting the next season in January, but I don't know if I want to wait that long.
Yeah.
So Cindy finished 2 anime and a manga this week,
Nice.
which is impressive because she usually like goes real like it took her like months to finish Oshinoko season 1.
Fair. I mean,
But it's just because life gets hectic, you know. And
yeah.
she doesn't get a whole lot of time to like watch TV like without kids running around so she can actually pay attention. But she got caught up with Don and Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8's cool. Don Don.
Well, she got a kick out. She got a kick. She likes the humor in it. And there's definitely like I mean I watched the newest episode. Oh, excuse me. I watched the newest episode and like I don't know why I wasn't expecting what's his name to end up with like ghost powers, but I mean now that it happened, to see I was like, how did I not know this was coming? Like it seems so obvious.
I watched episode 2 actually right before we started recording, and my thought is just kind of like,
I know he doesn't technically have the powers; he's just possessed, but he's gonna end up with the powers. Let's be real. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't know. My whole thought watching Don to Don from the start is I'm just kind of like, I don't get it. Like I just like it's not bad. I just don't see why people are acting like it's the greatest thing ever.
I definitely think it was super overhyped. I don't think it's a bad show, but it definitely like didn't deserve like the this is the greatest show of all time treatment he was getting for a while there.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it, it wasn't even close to winning Anime of the Year, and the show that
No,
won Anime of the Year didn't even deserve it.
yeah, and I still would put Solo Leveling above Don to Don.
Well, yeah.
Well, that being said, like Don to Don does have like its funny moments, and like some of the animation stuff is really really cool. But like Solo Leveling, just overall, is just a better rounded story, especially now that I've read ahead and I know
Yeah.
like stuff that happens after the anime. Like it's solid.
Speaking of shows, I also saw the most recent episode of Apothecary Diaries.
I have not watched it yet.
It's dark. It's dark.
It gets even darker.
It's like uplifting dark.
It gets even darker than all the poisoned children, which I'm not totally convinced about because they set up earlier in the season the whole like revival drug where it's like a near death type of like a Romeo and Juliet-esque near death type of drug. I think that's what they used on the kids, but we'll see.
I won't say anything. Um,
Not entirely convinced. We'll see. Because we still have
yeah,
one more episode after the one that came out this week, right?
yeah. The final episode is season 3 has already been confirmed.
Well, it better be. I'm just saying.
Well,
It's just
I
like,
don't. I'm just curious where it's gonna go because I've never read any of the manga or the light novels. So I'm strictly anime only on Apothecary Diaries. I don't know what Jinshi's gonna do going forward now because he's out. He's outed now. Like, there's no way he can hide that anymore.
well, I have heard like what like there is like a sequel series to Apothecary Diaries, I guess. And I don't know the details behind it or how it happens, but apparently Jinshi and Mao Mao end up traveling together. So I don't know what the setup for that or how it happens, but that's essentially, from what I hear, where the story is going to end up going. I don't know why, especially if he's outed and like his position is clear to everybody, but I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. It's definitely the most engaging anime I think I've seen in a while.
yeah, for sure. It's been the most engaging show I've seen since Attack on Titan wrapped up.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give
In
it.
a very different way, but it's just as engaging.
Apothecary Diaries doesn't make me feel miserable watching it, but
Yeah.
it's
Um,
definitely got that whole like you have to know what happens next.
Oh, this week I finished watching the original Inuyasha series. I still have to watch the fourth movie, but I've wrapped that up. I think I am going to take a little bit of a breather before I start the final act, though, because
Oh, you don't want to go.
I
You don't
started
want to
getting a
go.
little burnout towards the end there.
You don't want to go right into it and be like, "Why is Kagome's voice different?"
No, I think I'm going to give it a little time because I was definitely getting some burnout towards the end there. And as much as I
Well,
like it, but like there's some pacing issues in the original anime.
well, the last like couple of arcs, they were stretching the fuck out of it because they were running out of
Yeah,
they
and
were
it
running
turns
out of
out
manga really
yeah, it
fast.
turns out my memory was accurate, and they did stretch out the Panda Seven thing a little bit longer than I would have liked. Um,
Yeah,
and
they changed the scene with the poison guy though.
um, also, like by the time it wrapped up, I was like, wait a minute. 'Cause I remember like a bunch of stuff that happens towards the end, like character deaths and character growth and different abilities that get unlocked and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wait, all of that happens in the final act? Like that's a
Yeah,
lot of shit. They
that's
stuff a
that's
lot into those like 26 episodes.
that's the problem with the final act versus the main series. The main series they stretch the fuck out of it, and then the final act they squeeze like a shit ton to finish it. So the
It's
final
insane.
act has the opposite problem that the main series has.
Which I almost feel like I prefer like the final act stance on it. Like,
Well, you
but
do
I
until you get to
that
like the
being said,
boat.
I do like a lot of the filler stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Well, no, the filler's great. Like it's like the filler they
it,
add is awesome. It's this when they stretch out like established arcs, that's when it gets a little rough.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I was thinking since I just finished it and since it's fresh in my mind, maybe next week we'll do the Inuyasha original series episode.
Okay. So you'll watch the fourth movie too, and then we can.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could touch on the movies. I assumed we could do like episodes on the movies separately.
I mean, the only ones that are really worth talking about are 2 and 3. So
I did like I did like the second one.
the
Actually,
second one,
I don't think I particularly dislike any of the ones I've watched. Um,
the first one just feels like a longer episode of the show. Like
yeah, and also
it's
like was that the one that introduced Hojo's ancestor?
maybe. I think he
Because
might
like
appear.
because he shows up in the show like after the point where I watched the movie, and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Akitoki? We missed you. How's everything going?"
Yeah, I think he
And
might
like,
be in that movie, but that movie's
but
so.
he was in the movie, and I couldn't remember if he was introduced before that or if that was an introduction was in the movie.
Technically in the manga because the movie is dubiously canon. He appears later, but
Mhm.
now movie
Um,
2 is great. Movie 3 is the best one. Um,
yeah, I did like the third one too.
movie 4 is the worst one, so I'll just give you that warning going forward.
Yeah, I,
Um,
I have things to say about the original series, but we'll save all that for next week.
okay. Um, yeah. Other
So,
than that,
well, I was gonna say I do have some news stuff. I took some notes about some things that popped up that I heard about.
oh
Um,
yeah,
there's a right the Hiromu Arakawa. Her current manga series is getting an anime adaptation.
cool.
Um, her to anybody who doesn't know, Hiromu Arakawa is the mangaka who wrote Full Metal Alchemist. I believe it's called Demons of the Shadow Realm, something like that. It's getting an anime adaptation. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know it revolves around a pair of twins. So I don't know if it's going to be similar to Blue Exorcist in some way or not. But
Hmm.
I will definitely be watching that when it comes out. We have a couple live action animes that have been announced in recent days. They are making a live action version of 5 centimeters per second. Interested to see how that
Hooray!
works out.
Hooray! Will the middle section be just as boring and pointless?
But
Oh
there,
yeah, that's not a.
Netflix has also confirmed a Solo Leveling live action.
I did see that one. Cool. We'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
we'll see how we'll see whether it's a if it's a One Piece or if it's a Death Note or if it's a Full Metal Alchemist where it's just fucking boring.
Well, Death Note would be amazing just because of how fucking stupid it is.
I honestly, if they did like a Netflix Death Note version of Solo Leveling in a live action, like that would be fucking hilarious. But I'm pretty sure they're going more the route of like because I believe they are actually getting like Korean actors and everything, so it's not going to be like super Americanized with the Death Note one.
Yeah. No Naked Brothers
But
band.
no Naked Brothers band, not this time. Um, there's also Ruby Volume 10 has been officially announced.
Cool.
So that is moving forward. I know we were talking about that recently, and that's officially confirmed. It's happening now, so that's good. Because I would have been kind of shitty if the last volume we got was just kind of like a. I mean, it was fine, but it was kind of like in terms of like plot, it was kind of a nothing season.
Hmm.
It was just kind of there for for the main core group to kind of grow as characters and then move along to the actual story. Um, so I'm glad they're actually continuing with that. I don't know if that's going to be the end, if they're just doing the one more, or if there's going to be more after that. But I guess we'll see. Um, and also Toyotaro, the the artist and I guess current like main guy for Dragon Ball Super the manga, is going to be releasing a one shot manga pretty soon called The Lost Samurai. So it is kind of cool that we're going to see something original from him, but I also don't know how I feel about, especially because with just the state of Dragon Ball right now, like I don't know how I feel about him working on other things. Like obviously I don't want him to just sit around and do nothing because
Hmm.
then he's not doing anything, but at the same time it's like, although I did read something recently that like apparently like tons of um like a lot of companies and business and franchise, like a lot of people would like collapse if Dragon Ball just stopped producing content.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like I don't think it's ever gonna really end, but like we need to move super forward at least until we conclude like the stuff that was set up, like
Yeah.
the important stuff that was set up, because there was a lot of important stuff that was set up at towards the end of the manga there.
Or if he needs a
Um,
break, at least like maybe animate the stuff.
I mean, it's been over a year. He's had plenty of break. He only wrote the one shot the past year.
Yeah. I mean they still gotta kind of figure out the whole hurdle with Toriyama. But
Yeah. Um. Also, so you're going to Retro World this year, correct?
uh
Could you do me a favor? You keep an eye out for like a cool Chrono Trigger poster or something, or like if they have like a big like compilation with like a bunch of different Dragon Quest characters or something. Like I'd like something like that,
yeah, I'll
and
look
I
around.
can I can pay you back for whatever you
Depends on what
whatever it ends up being.
the art gallery is. I'll look at Kineticon too. That's next weekend. So.
Okay. Yeah, because I like Chrono Trigger. I definitely want a Chrono Trigger one in particular, but I would also be happy with like a drag, especially with since Toriyama's past. I can see like a lot of it. Excuse me. a lot of fan art people doing like big compilations of like all different Toriyama characters from different things put together. If you find something like that, that would be awesome as well. But just keep an eye out for me.
Yeah, I'll see what we get. Oh, also big news, Black Clover season 2. Or well, technically season
Yes.
5, but
Well,
let's
that's once I wrap up Inuyasha and watch a few like shorter shows, I think that's gonna be my next big one.
it's an interesting watch. It's like the most comparable thing to it, a lot of people say, is Naruto, sorta. To a degree, like it has a similar vibe. It's
Mhm.
also but they're also both Studio Pro. Um,
Yeah,
it's kind of like, I think the best way to describe it is, it's like, imagine Naruto if like the main characters' lives didn't suck,
fair, fair.
and it's wizards versus ninjas.
Mhm. So you actually just settled on what your next big project is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally jump into. I've been on a superhero kick lately with all the Superman stuff, and I'm kind of like, you know what, I have to. You think this anime would have been like perfect for me, but I've just never gotten to it. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia next.
I think it was mostly the fan base that was holding you back.
It wasn't even that. I think it was more just like I was exploring other things when it was like big, and then by the nowadays it's just kind of like I feel like I'm too late to the party.
Well, I kind of felt the same way, but like once I started rolling with it and getting into it, like it was really good. And then they also just started the spinoff,
Hmm.
which is also really like honestly, like you could watch that. Like I mentioned it before, you could watch that totally independent from the main series, and it works on its own. So,
Hmm.
and that one actually just wrapped up. It's only 13 episodes, I think. So it's solid. I'm looking forward to season 2 when that comes out
Hmm.
because it's definitely going to be a season 2 for sure.
Most likely.
But I like the idea of just like the guy who failed to be a hero, like didn't even make it to take the test to be a hero, and is just going to college doing regular dude stuff. He's just like, all right, I'm just gonna go out and fight crime with my barely useful power, and that I'm just gonna like make my little vigilante group, and we're gonna go out and do our thing. Like I don't know, it's fun. I like it.
Hmm.
I like the theme song too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kaiju number 8 too. You had mentioned Cindy had watched that. What'd she think of that one?
She liked it. She was a big fan. Actually, we watched the first couple episodes together, and the part where he's like after he first turns into the monster, and they're running, and he's just like, "Oh my god, I have to pee." He's just like, "You don't have the equipment to do that. I don't know how you're gonna do that." He's just pissing through his nipples, and she just started losing her shit.
Did you watch Hoshina's Day Off?
No, not yet. I got to do that.
Hmm.
I honestly forgot about that. Um, yeah, yeah, I got around to that.
Yeah,
Because I got to rewatch. I was planning on rewatch because she watched most of it independent from me. So I got to rewatch Kaiju number 8, and I was also going to rewatch My Dress Up Darling because I watched them both last year. Both of them are starting up new seasons this month, so I want to refresh before I jump into them.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
didn't feel the need to do that with Down to Down because I watched that earlier this year. So
Yeah. Um, I guess now a good enough time as any we can get into our next mini series. I guess we could say.
yeah, I mean it is kind of a mini series anyway, so it works.
All right. Got to find music for this. We got to keep up
Oh,
that
we're
tradition.
changing it up. We're doing different music.
Yeah, we got to do it slightly different. Let's see what we got. No,
It
no that was.
has the same one we used back.
These are all lame. God damn it.
That one works.
Yeah, I'll do rock. It'll go with the intro.
Yeah, right. I love the intro. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's a banger.
It was pretty rocking.
Mm. So
Yeah,
we're
this one.
starting we're starting our coverage of Darker Than Black season 1. We're just sticking to season 1 as of now because this show is much like Bakano, as we've talked about in the past, very hard to find. And I only have season 1 by chance. There was a point in time, like maybe like 10, 15 years ago, where you could. I think season 2 was on like Hulu or something, but it's long gone at this point. But yeah, Darker Than Black. It was an anime original. There's no like manga or anything tied to it. And it kind of revolves around like this one guy in particular, but he's part of like a 4-man group kind of thing. Where basically the idea is they live in this world where there is some sort of something that happened, but they didn't really go into it really in the first couple episodes. But there was some sort of event that happened, and they had to build a wall because, of course, they did. Ever since this event, all these different supernatural beings kind of awaken. Like they are just regular people, but they kind of awakened into like new abilities. So we have 3 types of people in this series: there's humans, regular humans. There's contractors, which have different kinds of special superpowers, but they have to pay a certain price every time they use them. And then there's, I guess, essentially psychic mediums called dolls, because they're completely emotionless and personalityless. And that's essentially the setup for this show. So just like right at the top, how did you feel like jumping into this?
Without any backstory, the first episode's a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of one of those things where you're just like it does the thing that a lot of animes do, where it just dumps a lot of info on you at once.
Yeah,
and then you're kind of just like left to be like, okay.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is pretty good. I won't lie. Like it has a vibe to it. Very mid 2000s, I want to say.
That's fitting. I believe it came out in like 2007 or 2008.
Yeah, it has that vibe to it. A lot of classic Funimation actors. Chris Sabat is like maybe like not even like 3 minutes in if you hear him.
He's literally the first voice you hear, I believe, in the show.
Yeah.
And he's not even like a super important character either. He's just like a regular cop.
Yeah. Like you hear that voice and you're like, oh yeah.
Like, there he is.
I'm assuming the black-haired guy, I think, or he.
His real name is Hay, but most of the show he's going to be referred to as Lee because that's his like alias.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's the main character. He seems interesting enough. Took me a minute to realize that him and the Lee were the same character.
Yeah. Well, because he usually wears that mask.
Yes.
And it's like it's one of those things where like you don't really know 100% like what his personality is, because they establish very early on that like contractors have a reputation for being very self-absorbed. Like they're really only concerned about what benefits them. And I don't know if this is like a prerequisite to get their powers, or if they became that way after they got their powers, or even if it's just like a stereotype and it's not necessarily true. We're not really sure at this point, at least. But Hay definitely seems to have more going on than just that.
Yeah, because he seems to have almost like a conflict of interests at times. Like he feels like he seems to go rogue at times to his own whatever he's feeling like.
But there's also points in these 2 episodes where like you're not really 100% sure what his motivation is. So like, all right, so the basic idea of the plot for these 2 episodes is like it starts out and he kills this contractor guy. Which like when you first saw like him use like the contractor guy that he kills, like when he first uses power and you realize like what he had to do to activate it. Like I don't know, like the first time you watch that, you see him start breaking his fingers after he escapes. It's like, oh shit, like that's ugh.
Yeah, I was kind of like, okay.
And it's a weird thing too, because like the powers, like there's no like rule essentially for like how hardcore your contract price is. because for some people, it's like, for instance, like the guy who has like the matter transportation power, like all he has to do is line up a bunch of stones in like a pattern, which isn't like, that's not like like, yeah, it's time consuming and it might be a little tedious, but it's not like, you know, it's not that much of a price, really. Despite the fact that his ability is powerful. But the guy from the very beginning who has like the gravity nullification, like he has to break his fingers. There was another guy, I forget what his power was, but he had to like eat dandelions.
Yeah, that scene, I was like, what the? I was like, okay, so that's a thing.
And we'll see like a bunch of these kinds of things happen. Like there really isn't any correlation between how powerful it is and how hardcore the price is. It just kind of is, you know. But essentially, like, he kills the guy, and then like, because Hay works for like a syndicate of some kind, and they are trying to get their hands on information. Like there's this doctor lady who broke out of people who worked behind the gate where like all this crazy shit came from, and she had all these like information files that they were trying to get their hands on, and basically the story is him kind of trying to get that information from her, like tricking her into giving it to him. But throughout the whole story, like you have a lot of trouble kind of figuring out whether or not he's actually trying to do that or if he's actually trying to help her.
Yeah.
And I feel like the nuance there really adds to Hayes' character. Because you really don't get a plain answer by the end of the story. We should probably talk about his partners.
Yeah, they only briefly appear.
Yeah, they're kind of just like briefly introduced here. So there's what was his name? The guy with the hat. I don't remember his name.
I am going to be terrible at remembering names for a while going into this.
I know they have a doll in their group.
Is that the water girl?
Yeah, she's a medium who can like essentially track people. Like as she's touching water, she can track somebody if they're near water.
Yeah, there's her. There's the weird fedora guy, and then there's the cat.
How long did it take you to realize the cat was a dude?
I'm just so
the cat pops up constantly throughout these 2 episodes.
So the scene where you hear his voice when they're all chatting together, and you hear this disembodied voice the whole time, I'm like, the fucking cat, isn't it? Because I'm just so used to talking cats now in anime. Yeah. Talking cats just kind of became like a thing after a while. Not even just anime either. Like a bunch of stuff like. Also in the intro,
Hocus Pocus and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like there's all sorts of different media that has talking cats, especially black cats.
Also, the intro kind of gives it away because he's highlighted in the intro.
True. This is true.
So I was like, oh, that cat's important. And then I hear this disembodied voice. I'm like, gee, I wonder.
Yeah. So like after we go through the whole thing where he kills that contractor dude, it switched because he was like in full like trench coat and mask like while that was happening, so we didn't see what he looked like. And then it switches over to him like going to get a new apartment, and I love the old lady, like the landlord.
Oh yeah, fix my TV, damn it.
Yeah, because he knocks on her door and she's like, oh, you one of those Bible thumpers? I don't need saving. And he's like, no, wait, it's not that. And he goes, she goes, oh, you're one of those pesky tombstone salesmen. It's just like, I told you, when I need one, I'll call you.
Yeah.
And then she ends up circling around to, oh, you must work for the electronics people. My TV's busted. Come fix it.
Yeah. And then she does the classic, just punch it till it works.
Yep. So like, and this is where we find out that the chick that he's after is his like next door neighbor in the apartments, which is probably why he went to that apartment in particular.
Yes.
Although this is going to be where he lives throughout the series. So I think he got the apartment specifically for this mission, but he will essentially just be there throughout.
Is it bad that I didn't realize that was Colleen Clickenbeard at first?
No, I understand that because this is feel like pretty early Colin Clinkerbeard. Like
Hmm.
like she had been around for a bit, but like she wasn't like thoroughly established the way she is now.
Because there are
And
some.
I feel like this is probably closer to her like normal speaking voice for a lot of it, because like, she definitely like the way she does her different tones and stuff throughout for her different roles. Like I feel like that's what people are mostly familiar with. When she's just talking, she definitely sounds different.
Yeah, because like, hey, I noticed right away it's Jason Liebrich or Liebrich. He was pretty noticeable right off the bat. Obviously Chris Sabat, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
A couple other like
I forget
Williams
the
as the
name,
cat.
but yeah, the cat. Yeah. I see. I hear that voice. I just think ogre.
Yeah.
And what's his name? I don't remember the actor's name, but the fedora guy. He's or it was the fedora, whatever. The Scully guy. He was
Joe
Zachary.
Swayze.
He was
John
Zachary.
Swayze. Yeah.
Yeah, Attack on Titan. I'm not sure who plays Yin. I think her name is or Ying.
The Water Girl.
Yeah, I'm not sure who plays her.
That is
because she's so like bland with the way she speaks.
That it's a Brina Placencia. I can't do those names. She's Chiatsu
Oh, okay.
and Chopper.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that was okay.
Oh, and my absolute favorite, Rin Soma from fucking Fruit Baskets. The most like at the like the cute animals, and then oh yeah, the horse girl from fucking emo horse girl from Fruit Baskets. Yes.
Jesus. So I love when he's like introduced to the chick, like the landlord introduces them, and she just kind of like shrugs them off and just walks away, and like she's like, "Oh, you're not going to be one of those like weird stalker guys or anything, right?" And he's like, "Oh no, of course not." But then like he kind of does.
Yeah, he
is stalking her throughout this whole thing.
Starts following her around.
Like the first time they like encounter each other after that, I feel like that could have just been chance, because he was just kind of in like a park looking at the stars, which apparently aren't real, by the way.
Yeah,
that's like a part of the whole lore of the show, is like when the cataclysm, when the event happened, all the stars went away, and now the stars that are in the sky actually they represent contractors, and if a contractor dies, the star falls. It's like a weird thing, and like that's how they classify like different contractors, is they classify them by the star that correlates with them. So and Hay is, you're gonna hear this a lot, he's BK201, that's his star number. You're gonna hear that a lot because that cop gets obsessed with him, the lady cop.
Oh, her. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, like episode 2 was mostly just kind of a lot of chase scenes.
Yeah, and they were like kind of talking about like he's like, "Oh, let's run away together and we'll do all this." And like this is the part where it's kind of like you don't know if he's like really means it or if he's just saying it. Well, because you see the way he kind of plays her a lot of the time, because she goes through her whole like she's telling her life story to him, and she's like, "Oh, can I really trust you?" And then that's when they hear the footsteps. You realize like he never answered her.
Well, he also goes out of his way later on to make that whole point about how contractors can't be trusted. They constantly lie about everything.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. Yep.
Yep. And then like there was another thing. Well, oh yeah, when they're at a coffee restaurant. I don't know if you got that, but I found it funny. When they're sitting at coffee restaurant and they're talking about running away, and they're like, "Oh, well," he's like, "Oh, well, the one thing is like we're gonna need money to make this work." Like, and she's like, "Oh, well, that kind of sucks because we don't, I kind of just have what's in my purse right now." And he's like, "Oh, well, maybe if we have something we can trade or whatever." And she's like, "Oh, information. I have information." And like, obviously, that was what he wanted in the first place. So it's like, it's one of those things where like, is he just fishing for that information, or was he actually trying to get her out? Like, it's one of those weird.
Yeah, the whole time with Hay, it's like you just constantly
very ambiguous.
He seems to be like 4 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Because eventually we get to the big climax right at the end where they get ambushed by the because this show has a lot of factions going on. Like
Yeah.
there's at least like 4 different groups we've seen so far.
Yeah, well, the
Um,
the guys that he's up against right now are from like a French intelligence agency or something, because all these different countries and they're like, the um like all these different like secret agent factions and stuff. They all utilize contractors.
because eventually we get to that point where they get the big confrontation and it's the shock reveal that I kind of saw coming, where it was like, oh yeah, the girl, by the way, she's not actually her, she's just a doll.
Yeah, because like before, like right before that's revealed, because like the cops are like on this girl's trail the whole time, and they're also trying to catch Hay as well. Um, but like there's a point where I think Chris Sabat's like, oh, we have a sighting of her. She's over here. She stole this cop's gun and she's running this way. And then immediately after, a different cop calls in and is like, we just found her body in the river. So it's like, turns out like, oh, this is actually like they used gate technology to like imprint her memories onto a doll. So the doll thinks it's her, but it's not really her. And it was only temporary. So she was really only going to live for like another day or two. And then it also was revealed that they only did that. Like the information was like not even what they cared about. They were trying to get Hay to reveal himself because they want to kill him.
Yeah, and then we get that epic scene where they all fucking shoot him repeatedly, and the other guy's like, oh yeah, the cat shows up. Is like, oh yeah, by the way, why do you think he always wears that jacket? It's not just for style, bulletproof, motherfuckers. And they look over and he's already fucking standing up again. It's like, oh.
He's already like, because he's got like this Attack on Titan-esque like wire shooter that he uses, and like he's like fucking just like strangles people with it and shit.
Yeah, I had that whole like thought like the second like they like shot him, like the whole time I'm sitting here thinking like, didn't listen to Thanos. You got to go for the head.
Yep. Also, one of those things when they were at Coffee Restaurant, you realize like because you're looking at him the whole time, you're like, you don't look like a Shonen Pro Tag to me. Where's your Pro Tag hair? And then you see the spread of food in front of me. Go, oh, there it is. It is. He's got an appetite. He's one of those.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this isn't even how much I normally eat.
Yeah, right. It's like a lot of food.
I love how
stuffing his face.
I love that her immediate response to was like, fuck this and just get wasted.
Yeah, she just starts pounding like wine or something, and she's just like, you're gonna get fat.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But like even like at the end there where the one human guy in his group is just like, oh, you should have listened to me, you should have just killed her and done what you were supposed to do, whatever. He's like, it doesn't like it mattered anyway, she was just a doll. And he like, this is the kind of the part where you're like, all right, I'm not really sure what his end game here with this story was, because like he says like here's the whole like, no, she wasn't just a doll, she was a person, like she mattered. And like that if it wasn't for that line, I would just assume that he was playing her the whole time. But that is what kind of makes me feel like maybe he was actually trying to help her.
There's also the moment too where like she regains her consciousness long enough to like jump in front of him.
Yeah, even though by that point she's like, oh, like turns out you are actually the guy who killed the guy who's supposed to help me get out and all those stuff. So like, yeah, it's a whole complicated mess. This is definitely, I feel like, one of the more convoluted storylines in the show, because this show is mostly 2-part stories. It's like 2 episodes and then they'll move on to another story.
Well, I think the problem with this one is they're really trying to hard open and like just kind of dump all the information at you at once.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, because a normal anime would probably give you like 5 episodes to like unpack all this shit.
Yeah, which I think essentially what happened with like Attack on Titan, say, because like by the end of the 5th episode, it's like, okay, we've already established the world, what's going on, how all that stuff works, and now shit's happening, But
establish the world.
But in this kind of story, like this is like it's not the same type of story, but in a way, I compare this show to a show like Cowboy Bebop because it's. In a lot of ways, it's episodic. It has a certain vibe to it. It's very like the music is fucking incredible. I love the music of the show.
A lot of bass.
Yeah, a lot of bass. A lot of like kind of like like bluesy jazz, a lot of stuff that kind of feels like old detective shit. Like I love it. I love it.
A weird heavy
And then,
metal opening.
and then they at the end there, like after the whole thing happened with the doll chick, um, there was they had like a whole like insert song playing in English, by the way, which is wild. You don't see that very often. At least at the time, you don't see that much.
No.
Um, but and then it just kind of ends with him just like cooking himself rice or something.
Yeah, and the police show up and they're like, "Have you seen this girl?" And he's like, "No, I just moved here."
Yep. No, I love when like uh backtracking a little bit when the landlord lady like asks him his name, and then she's like going to introduce him, and she's just like, what was your name again? And he goes, oh, Lee Shengshin. It's like Lee, whatever.
Yeah.
I love the old lady. She's great. But yeah, that's essentially the bones of it. As they try to establish a lot in these 2 episodes, and where I definitely feel like they would have benefited from stretching it out a little bit, just with the structure of this show. They kind of had to do it with these 2 episodes.
Yeah. Or at least done
Um,
like maybe a 3-parter for the first one and just
yeah.
kind of use that first episode to establish everything.
So out of curiosity, just because they haven't fully like said it straight up, have you caught on to what his contract power is?
No, I very much still
Because
kind of.
it is hinted at multiple times throughout this episode. Just it's never just outwardly like this is what his power is.
Yeah, I haven't. I kind of the whole time was trying to figure it out. I still haven't. So maybe next time.
Well, I'll just sit on that for now, and we'll circle back around to it later.
See how long it takes me to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's episodes 1 and 2 of Darker Than Black. What was it called? Like When the Star Falls or something like that?
something about contracts falling or something.
Yeah, something like that. Also, I love how the next episode previews are done like as poems.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this show has such a vibe to it, and I feel bad because the files they give you aren't exactly high quality. But
And I'm using the weirdest fucking video player to watch them right now.
yeah, because even like when I was plugging them into my TV, and there's like one part in like early in the first episode where like it just kind of like jerks off for a second. I don't know if
Yeah.
you caught that, but yeah. But and like just in general, the video quality isn't great with the copy of it I have, but I still think it shines through.
Yeah. No, it was I'm going to be cautiously optimistic to see where it goes.
And by the way, to throw this out there, this is Slade's homework, so he better watch it.
Yeah. Eh.
It's not a long show. You watched Attack on Titan. Alex watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched 3 shows. If he can't handle a 25er, then like, what are we doing here?
I mean, it'd be fun. He'll be
the bad noodle this year.
Yeah. But anyways, now continuing on with our topic for this episode. We alluded to it in the beginning. We're actually going to be talking about the first 2 Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yes, Dead Zone and The World's Strongest. So you still don't know which ones I was talking about?
Well, here's the thing, because they're both interesting is the best way I can put it. The first movie, Dead Zone, is almost like a prequel to Z. In a way.
Yeah, it takes place between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Despite some continuity issues that
Yeah, well, that's where I was talking about with like the writing, because a lot of stuff with this movie, like I've always kind of like, I didn't love Dead Zone, but I liked it enough. But like watching it through this time and like actually like paying attention, just like, wow, it's like they didn't pay attention to the show at all. Because like
Yeah.
literally the first thing that happens is Piccolo is ambushed and he's killed, and like Kami's like, oh my god, Mr. Popo, Piccolo's been killed by Goku. And I'm just like I can name like 5 things out of what you just said that make no sense.
Yeah.
Because first of all,
Yeah.
like, where did you get Goku from? Because even his silhouette looks nothing like Goku. Nothing.
Yeah.
And then also, like, if Piccolo's dead, how are you here? How are
Yeah.
you even
Kami's dead.
saying this? You should be dead if he's dead. So he's not dead. That's
The,
obvious.
the Dragon
Especially
Balls would
since
get decommissioned. A lot of things.
exactly. Like none of that makes any sense.
Also, like Krillin later appears, and it's like I'm pretty sure they hadn't re-met up yet by this point.
Yeah, they didn't even know Goku was a dad yet until like Raditz showed up.
Yeah. Um.
Which I
Poor
mean, that's a minor thing, but
poor Chi Chi has like 5 seconds of video of screen time where she gets the shit kicked out of her.
yeah. It was that like the couple of lines that she had, like I wasn't even 100% sure if it was Cynthia Cran's.
It is
Which
her.
I know it is because like this Funimation dubbed this movie like a lot later than
Yeah.
the other ones because Ocean, I believe, had the original. Honestly, I wanted to watch the Ocean dub of this for this episode, but I only have it on VHS and I do not have any of that shit set up. So, and I actually I looked into it. I was looking into like seeing if I could get the Rock the Dragon set, which is like the original Ocean dub of like the first 50 something episodes in the first 3 movies, but it is like $2,000 on Amazon right now. So it's like no,
Yeah,
never
okay.
mind, never mind. If I was gonna spend
Better-
that much to get the Dragon boxes,
You're better off just sailing the seven seas at that point.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's fine. Or I'll find like the individual DVD releases that would probably be cheaper.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's one
Also,
of those weird things where like because I'm trying to remember because I feel like Dead Zone was like one of the last ones they did.
yeah, it makes sense too because when you think about like the voice performances, like Cynthia's voice aged like the fastest out of pretty much all the Funimation actors and actresses.
Yeah,
Because like you listen to her at the start of the series where she's still got the Botan-esque voice, and then like by the end she's just like full on like angry Chi Chi voice at all times.
yeah, for sure. So we get that scene towards the beginning where Gohan is just like reading a book in the middle of the woods for some reason. And he's
Yeah,
like
and this
he's reading
is
about. This isn't. It's not even like he's reading a novel or he's not reading like a kid. He's reading like a book about cicadas. And like
Gohan's a weird kid. That's always been the
And like I had a weird thought because he was sitting there talking to himself about the book, and he's like, "Oh, cicadas can like stay like in their cocoon or whatever underground for anywhere between like 13 to 17 years." Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't even think I'd be able to handle a day living underground, which is like kind of ironic when you think about it, because like in the future timeline, Gohan kind of did live underground for like 13 years before he was killed.
yeah,
Because he kind of had to.
yeah.
I think everybody had to at that point. It's just like, that sucks.
The thing that annoys me in this movie is like it feels like every character got nerfed.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah.
This fucking Ox King just gets fucking like murked right at the start.
Yo, that scene with Ox King, and he's just like, "Oh, I came to see my grandson," and he's standing there, and he starts dropping the books, and like, I swear to God, the way he looks and the sounds he's making, and like, there was no like impact, like he got hit or anything. He just kind of like is like fucking just like seizing up, essentially, like. He looks and sounds like somebody shoved something up his ass, like, and then he just falls. Like,
That's like the slowest reaction from Chi Chi too, where she's like, "No." I'm just like,
and then, yeah, and then the scene where like she goes to like attack the whatever their name is, like it's like this weird thing where she's like going to like run up to them, but she like just kind of like hovers for a second there. It was really bizarre, and then she just gets her shit smacked, and they just
which
take
is
Gohan out
I
after
I
eating
hate
her pears.
yeah. I hate the fact too. It's like one of the rare times they actually make Chi Chi do something, and then she gets fucking shit kicked for no reason.
It's okay. She'll have a moment in Lord Slug.
Also, like you notice that she has like makeup on for like no reason here? Like the only
Mm.
time that happens early in the early series.
Well, it's probably, it is that transition period between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, so that could be something to do with it. She's
That
not
also,
completely burnt out from Goku's bullshit yet, so
yeah. Also, I think it might have been a movie too. They were trying to showcase, ooh, look at our pretty animation.
which like yeah, it does look good, but it still just looks like Dragon Ball Z. Like it
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
look like it's not like looking at Dragon Ball Super and then looking at Broly. Like it's like there's a significant like this is clearly movie level and this is clearly the show. It's not that much different between these
no.
original Z movies and what the series is doing at the
I
time.
mean, to be fair, too, Dead Zone is basically just a slightly longer episode of Dragon Ball Z.
It's like a two-part episode essentially, which ironically is how America originally aired Tree of Might. Was they split it into 3 episodes
Yeah,
instead of
they and put it right in the middle of a point in the series where it didn't make any fucking sense because like it's like, oh look, Yamcha's alive again.
I mean, really, that movie doesn't have a place in the series where it makes sense for it to happen. So
No, no, the Tree of Might's like the worst out of all of them when it comes to that.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like it's kind of the worst out of all of them in many ways, but that's my opinion. Maybe I'll feel different when I watch it again, but probably
I also like
not.
I love the fact that Goku's first appearance in this movie is just us getting full on bare ass fucking naked Goku. I'm like,
Oh, can we talk about that for a second? So he's fishing in like the river or something, right?
yeah,
And like he's got this big ass fish because he fucking catches these giant fish like all the time and always has his whole life. So he hears Chi Chi scream or whatever, or like he hears like essentially the attack from a distance, and he hops out buck naked, holding the fish. But then after we see him arrive, he's fully clothed but still dragging the fish. So he stopped to get dressed and then ran to go fucking. But he still brought the fish. Like that was important.
well, Goku's priorities have never made fucking sense, like ever.
And there's
Um,
no real like. It's hard to tell how much time actually passes between them taking Gohan and Goku showing up to save him because like they get multiple Dragon Balls in between that time, and it seems like none of these like henchmen do anything independently. They're all always together. And every time we see like anything going on, they're always there. So it's like I don't know when they got these Dragon Balls or how long. So I'm wondering if maybe he convinced Chi Chi to cook that fish for him before he left.
well, I love when he shows up too and just sees her on the ground. He like literally does like the oh no, my wife. Like, he just kind of was like he's only cares for like 3 seconds, and then he's like,
Yeah,
oh wait, where's Gohan?
yeah, for sure. Um,
I forgot how much like Goku's characterization in the Z series is so fucking atrocious sometimes.
yeah, and like honestly, like I said, like the animation isn't like super stellar in this movie, like compared to the show. And like I said before, the writing is just atrocious when it comes to like plotting. Um, there's two big saving graces for this film, and that's the fight choreography is excellent, especially in that one scene where Goku's fighting with the power pole.
Oh yeah, he
And
does have the power pole in this.
this is, I think, the following movie is the last time he actually uses it, but he like in this movie he actually uses it like throughout the fight. In the next movie, I think he uses it once, and it's just to trip the giant robot.
Yeah,
Um,
because we're still in like pre Z at this point, technically.
yeah.
So his power set is pretty limited.
But the other saving grace for Dead Zone is the drunk toddler
Yeah, that was
because that is just and we get like a weird like acid trip moment for Gohan in both of these films
yeah. Gohan has had such a weird arc early on.
because he eats an apple from like a demon tree or some shit. Which, by the way, like now we have context. All these villains, demon realm. That's where they're from. They all
That's
got
the new
40 years.
that's the new answer for anything in Dragon Ball that doesn't make sense. Demon Realm.
Yeah, they're all from the demon realm.
We don't have to blame
Um,
Toriyama anymore. We can just say Demon Realm.
yeah, which he wrote, so I guess we can still blame him, but whatever.
Yeah, but at least he gave us a reason.
True, this is true. But yeah, he eats an apple off of this demon tree and just like immediately starts tripping.
Sure does.
and it is bizarre. And I guess Stephanie Donnelly had ad libbed that whole little like song, is the whole little marching song that he does. Is it
Yep.
the like that whole thing? And it's fucking super weird. Honestly, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me
What?
of Anya's like poop acid trip in the Spy Family movie. And like it made me think like, how would that go if Anya and Kid Gohan met and like had like a movie together? Like that would be interesting.
It would be insanity. Lloyd would be so fucking done because Goku would not help at all.
Nope. No. But
Although I'd love to see Yor and Chi Chi meet because that would be fucking hilarious.
yeah, it would. Um so yeah, Goku shows up because he's gonna go save him or whatever.
He's
And
like,
they
oh
like
right,
it's weird because the
child.
henchmen are like, he's like, oh, where's my son? And the henchmen are like, oh, don't worry about him. He's dead tired. It's like it almost feels like they're trying to hint at him being dead, but he's not, and he's fine. Like it's like I don't know why they did that. It was like because they put a real emphasis on dead tired. Like it was weird.
See, they're trying to piss Goku off, but Goku like doesn't care
He's
about
not
his
gonna
family
fight,
half the time. So
but he showed up for him. It's more than you can say about Goku for most of the series.
I know,
Usually he doesn't even do that much.
I know. It's really sad when the more you watch this, the more you realize Goku's kind of a terrible character
Yeah.
sometimes.
Um. So
So
yeah, so he shows up and they start having like he starts fighting other henchmen and I don't remember if oh yeah, because Kami shows up too. And see, that's the thing is like that's why Dead Zone kind of annoys me. It's because the bones for a really interesting story are there. Like I love the concept of like Kami had like somebody he was competing with to become Guardian, and like that person was just straight up evil. Like obviously Kami had some darkness because he had to fucking expel it in the form of Piccolo. Um, but like the guy he was competing with was just actually a piece of shit, and like how like this whole story is based on like all right he wanted revenge but he's gone so now his son is gonna take up the fight or whatever. Like the bones for a good story is here. It's just very poorly written.
it's also like it's so weird that we actually get a character who wishes for immortality and gets it.
Yeah, for sure.
But then they it's like it doesn't even matter in the end.
Yeah. And then there's like the one scene where Kami is like going to blow himself up to take Garlic with him, and he's just like, Garlic's just like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. I'm immortal. Like, what do you think that's gonna do?
Yeah. Rewatching this one, I was just like, the whole time, like everything was like infuriating.
To honestly, Garlic makes the most sense out of this fucking movie.
I know, and he's such a forgettable villain.
Oh, and the whole scene where Goku's fighting the henchmen, and they're like about to do their like buff transformations. What the fuck was with that? It was like it was like was it like gingerbread, tutti frutti, and cheese? Was it like their keywords to like transform? Like, why did you say like they're not even attack names, right? Like they just started being like tutti frutti. Like, what the fuck are you people doing?
The whole time I was watching this, I was like, oh yeah, this is why I never go back to this one.
Yeah.
Like
Which
it's when I think of the old Dragon Ball movies, I'll watch the next one we're gonna go into, and then I like skip to Lord Slug, and then I skip to like Android Super Android 13 because I'm just
you
like,
skipped the cooler movies?
it depends on my mood. They're not
That's
can
fair.
those ones are extremely not canon, so I'm always like,
Well,
yeah.
the first cooler movie at least semi fits in.
I always thought that one was like, what if they actually killed Frieza?
Well, no, because that one's the first cooler movie takes place after like it takes like kind of like during the training for the androids.
Oh, is it?
So because it's like after Goku's already back, Mecha Frieza's already been dealt with. I mean they don't know that Trunks killed him. So or maybe this is like the future timeline where like maybe it's pre Goku getting the heart virus. Who knows?
I have to rewatch it because I don't remember it exactly.
We'll get there eventually.
It's one of the ones I watched the least. That's all I'll say.
That's ironic because the first Clue movie is one of the ones I watched the most as a child.
We'll have to.
I didn't watch very many of the movies as a kid. It wasn't until like later that I like because they weren't super available back then. There was only like a handful that were. And
No, I didn't
Hulu
watch.
was one of those ones that they played on TV a lot.
I didn't watch them until the 3-packs came out, or 4-packs,
Right.
I should say.
So yeah, so the fight choreography between Goku and the henchmen, like once they like pull the swords out of their bodies and start fighting, and he starts using the power pole. Like I love like the way Goku dodges like a lot of those sword attacks. Like the choreography is on point during that whole scene. And then Piccolo shows up randomly and just starts like taking them all out.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Piccolo, you're here, and you guys
Oh
aren't
yeah,
friends.
Krillin
At this
gets
point.
pissed on.
Yeah, like what? Like Japan.
Yeah,
like
because Gohan's still shit faced and he's just like walking around in like the rafters or some shit. He just whips it out and starts pissing and just happens to piss on Krillin's head from like 100 feet up.
That's why Krillin doesn't remember any of this because he wiped it from his brain.
He's just traumatized from it all.
Also, I have to say, like after watching Daima and like hearing Stephanie's performance, it's so weird going back to her like prime and being like, oh
yeah, her like OG like Gohan voice.
Yeah, it's just super funny. Because she got a lot.
It is very much like the same voice, but the way her tone and her inflection is so different between the two. Like you can tell when she's doing Goku and when she's doing Gohan.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just so funny because like right at the end of Daima's, I think where she really found the voice again, but then of course,
yeah,
it goes back to Shovel after that. It was just interesting hearing her again because it had been a while since I've watched these.
Yeah, especially hearing her Gohan voice. It's been a while since I heard that because like aside from watching like the old movies, the last time I watched Z, I didn't even watch Z. I watched Kai, and that was Connie Beard as Gohan. So
yeah. Yeah, so this one. I was just gonna say this movie also feels like it just kind of ends, and it's like,
oh, it super does. Because like they get to the point where like they beat Garlic down, and then he's just like, "Fuck you, I'm immortal," and he opens up the dead zone, and he's just like, "All right, everyone's going in, get ready," and then Gohan gets real mad, and just like powers up and knocks him into the hole, and that's just the end of the movie.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then I love how they do the whole thing where like they're doing the voiceover at the end, and it's just like Goku considered telling Chi-Chi about Gohan's superpower or whatever, but like he was like, well, Gohan has a few more years of being a kid before he's a hero. And it's just like, no, he's got like maybe 6 months until he gets kidnapped by his uncle. And then everything goes to hell from that point. He doesn't get to be a normal kid until he's an adult.
At least, honestly, do tell Chi-Chi because her life's about to go to shit for a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure.
It's why whenever Chi-Chi gets all this hate from people, I'm like I kind of feel for her. Like she gets like the worst end of the deal in this fucking series.
For real.
But yeah, we'll have to, after we cover all of the Z movies, we're gonna have to tier list them because I want to see where we rank these things.
That'll be a whole episode on its own. We're gonna tier list all the Dragon Ball films, including the live actions, because we have to watch Mystical. Like, what the fuck is it? There's a Chinese Dragon Ball live action movie. Oh, we have to watch it.
But yeah, Dead Zone is, ironically, for the first Dragon Ball Z movie, I think it's like a really poor start. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. And one of my issues with it's the same kind of thing where I had an issue with Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. I don't like the aesthetic of it.
It's very
Dragon Ball.
It's very orange.
Yeah, it's just and not like in a way like, oh, Goku wears orange. No, it's like a orange, black, like red. It just looks dark, and not like it could Attack on Titan dark. It looks like dark as in like turn on the fucking light.
And all the characters are just so like shells of their former selves, other than Goku, and even Goku's just like.
And I don't really care for the villain designs either.
No. No. Yeah. So Dead
And this is a
Zone.
problem that I think they don't really like resolve these problems until like kind of in the fourth movie, but it's not really until the fifth movie where it's like, okay, this feels like Dragon Ball.
Yeah. That
For some
being
reason, they
said,
wanted to make it like super dark in the first few. I don't know why.
I mean, it was still the 80s, so animation was still kind of.
Yeah, I guess so, but that didn't stop them for like Mystical Adventure was exactly that's Dragon Ball, you know.
True.
I'm just gonna grab another beer.
Yeah.
I love this fucking mini fridge, man.
See, my problem is mine's on the other side of my computer desk, so I have to get up. Um, but yeah, moving on now, we get quite possibly most people's favorite of the early Dragon Ball movies.
It's mine for sure. At least until you get to. I mean, I like Lord Slug, but I like the English, with the English music for Lord Slug, for obvious reasons.
So, World's Strongest is interesting to me. Like, out of so I think the first box set was because they did those box sets. I believe the first one was literally it was like the first four movies.
I think actually it's the first five because actually Xander has that little box set.
What's the fifth one?
Cooler.
Is it the first? Oh, it's the first cooler. Out of all the movies on that first box set, I think Lord Slug's my favorite, but this is probably my second favorite. This is the best overall pure action movie.
Well, I'd say it's like story wise, it's probably the best story. Like, and that's one thing I'll give the first two movies, like, because all the old school Dragon Ball movies, including original Dragon Ball, had this bad habit of retelling actual story plots from the show.
Yeah, but doing them in like a slightly like modified way because like obviously
Like
like
Super Android 13 is like, oh, this is just the androids and like early cell stuff, and then we got like Fusion Reborn famously is like very much like this is Boo,
yeah,
Cooler is just Frieza.
and then Brawly happened, but we don't need to talk about Brawly
Yeah,
yet. We'll
but
get there
like,
eventually. We're gonna do Brawly in like a three-parter. I already know that. Like we're gonna cover all three of those as a trilogy. I already know.
yeah, well, I mean, we could probably get away with doing the first one as its own episode, and then we could probably just group 2 and 3 together.
That'll be such a boring episode because both of those movies suck so hard.
I love the third one. Who are you kidding?
I mean,
The third one's great.
It's not good. It's interesting, but my God, is that like
The third one is Netflix Death Note good.
we're fighting a shit demon? That's what's going on there.
But like,
Uh,
so the first two Z movies are like one of the few instances of like the old Dragon Ball movies where they actually created like original stories that didn't have anything to do with like arcs that happen in the series. So from Tree of Might onward, they pretty much constantly do that.
yeah. Well, Tree of Might's basically just what if Goku was evil?
Yeah, well, they're kind of just retelling the Saiyan saga with
Yeah.
that, but like in a weird way with the tree thing, which apparently is like a folklore thing. I don't know like the actual story that's all based off of because a lot of animes have dealt with that kind of thing before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so World's Strongest, the basic idea of the plot for this one is there's this scientist guy named Dr. Wheelo who is
A brain
trapped
in a
in
jar.
ice. He's a brain in a jar. He's a giant brain. Who was like trapped in ice, and then he gets out of the ice and he's like, well, I need a new body because I'm just a brain in a jar. So he wants to find the world's strongest so that he can be the smartest and the strongest in the world so he can take over the world.
The plot's not a lot, but it is at least something.
It's at least interesting and like makes sense in context with the series. Because it actually follows the rules of the series, unlike the first movie.
So I have to ask, do you prefer this dub or the ocean dub? Because I know a lot of people massively prefer the ocean dub for this movie.
Honestly, for the first 3 movies in general, I prefer the ocean dub because those are the most accurate scripts. Like, ironically, like with how much the ocean like script and the ocean dub like butchered those first like 50 episodes or so. The first 3 movies, the movies that they did were actually incredibly good dubs.
Peter Calamis's best voice. I'd say voice. I can't talk. Best voice work. I'd say for Goku.
Yeah, they actually pronounce Kaioken correctly in the ocean dub versions of those movies. I believe the ocean dub versions of those movies are the only instance with like old school Dragon Ball where they actually use Chala Henchala as the opening. Even with the home releases we get now, if you go out and buy a Blu-ray of Dragon Ball Z, you will not get Chala Henchala.
Nope.
Which is fucking wild to me.
They also added sound effects and like additional like audio cues to the ocean versions, I noticed.
But like in general, like yeah, I that's one of the reasons why I wanted to watch the ocean ones. Maybe once we wrap up all the movies before we do our tier list, maybe we should do an episode covering the first 3 movies, but the ocean dub versions.
Maybe if we can find them conveniently.
I'm sure we can. They're around. Worst case scenario, we'll buy secondhand DVDs. They're not that expensive if you get like just the one DVD as opposed to getting like the Rock the Dragon set. Like I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie starts really weird because obviously, like, you know, Dr. Cochin is collecting the Dragon Balls because the lab is frozen. Which, like, when they actually get into like the backstory later on, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because the way they word everything, it makes it sound like they were both trapped in the ice. So if that's the case, how the fuck did Cochin get out to get the Dragon Balls? I mean, it is revealed at the end that he's just a robot, so maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Robot stuff, I guess. Or maybe they could only just make a hole big enough for him to get out, but they couldn't get the giant brain out.
Maybe, yeah.
Something like that, maybe. I don't know. But apparently Oolong just kind of like recruited Gohan to help him steal the Dragon Ball from these people, which kind of seems out of character for Gohan. I don't see why he would agree to that.
Gohan's character is fucking confusing early on. Like he was doing a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, for sure. And then like, so they failed to get the Dragon Balls. The Cochin makes his wish, and then Piccolo's also there, just training in the ice.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Oh yeah, because this is post
Saiyan Saga.
Post Saiyan,
or at least post Raditz. Oh no, it is post Saiyan because when Gohan's having his weird fever dream while he's studying, he specifically like he's having all this like goofy childhood, like haha, like look at us, we're having fun, and then all of a sudden it flashes to Piccolo dying.
Yeah,
randomly, like literally, it goes from like goofy, colorful, like this is a child drawing, kind of just like playing around, and then it flashes to Piccolo like when he's blocking Nappa's blast from killing Gohan. It's super bizarre and out of place.
Well, it's like they're trying to like be like, this is what happened in case you haven't seen the series.
And then like they all get ambushed by these weird not Cybermen. The Cybermen with gas masks.
Yeah, pretty much. The Biomen, I believe they're called.
Yes, the Biomen. And like they just like murk Gohan, like not murk, but like they just fucking beat him down like instantly. And then Piccolo shows up and kills them exactly the same way he killed the Cybermen in the show.
Yeah.
Which is like one of the few like things that they were just like, hey, we're just gonna take this from the show. Like, they don't do that very much in this movie, but that is one like, oh, they just literally copied that.
So then after they get away, they go to meet Master Roshi.
Yeah, because they've been locked in the ice for so long that they still think that Roshi is the strongest. So they
that's what it was.
Which I like that because Roshi. This is the last time we see Roshi do any like real fighting until Resurrection F.
Yeah, actually, now you think about it. Yeah, because he does fuck all in Z.
Yeah, he really just sits around, tries to grow Bulma and Android 18,
and Chi-Chi occasionally.
Yeah, when Chi-Chi actually joins the group.
Yeah, when she's there, not just on her mountain.
Yeah. So yeah, they show up, and I don't know if you noticed this, but like the plane or whatever the fuck they took to get there, looks just like the like robot jar head that the brain is in. So do they bring the brain with them?
I don't think so because he's back under there later on.
It's just super weird. So they like and Rochi's like kicking these biomen's asses. Like he just fucking whoops them all. But then like when they grab Bulma and they're like holding her hostage. So he's
Yeah,
like, all right, fine, I'll go.
Bulma's first movie appearance.
Mm-hmm. Well, since original Dragon Ball, but yes.
Yes,
Um,
her first Z appearance, anyways.
but they get taken back there and they're like giving all this exposition to Bulma for no reason. Like, why does she need to know? But I guess they're gonna give it to her anyway. About how like
they need something for her to do.
yeah, they're like evil scientists and they developed this weapon that just obliterated a village. Like pretty much vaporized them. And they're like, oh, if we wanted, we could use this weapon to destroy the entire world and kill everybody. But then like, what would be the point? Because then nobody would be there to fear us and serve us.
Yeah.
Which is actually the most sensible thing that any like one-off anime movie villain has ever said, because so many of them are just like destroy the world, and that never made sense. Even as a kid, that never made sense to me. It's like, okay, destroy the world. What then? Like, what are you gonna do then? If there's nobody around and you're just on an empty planet devoid of life.
Yeah. I did enjoy hearing Tiffany Ballmer though playing Bulma again.
Yeah, it is nice to hear when we get it for sure. We we got that in Path to Power, but that was the only OG Dragon Ball movie that she was Bulma in.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Because I think it was partly Ocean, or like, it was like before they. Because I think Sleeping Princess was the first thing they actually dubbed.
Yeah, because both Goku and Bulma had weird voices in those movies.
Yeah, it wasn't until Path to Power that they had their proper voices. But yeah, like eventually Oolong, like, because like Chi Chi, like I don't know, it's like grounded Gohan or something because he didn't tell her where where he went when he went off with Oolong, and she's like freaking out to Goku, like he's becoming a delinquent and he's doing all these things and he won't tell me what he was doing, and Goku's just like, he's fine, dude. It's like
Goku's like, bitch, I don't care. I want to go
he's
punch
like,
shit.
He's happy and healthy. Who gives a shit? He's fine. Like, and ultimately, after Roshi and Bulma get kidnapped, Oolong goes there and he's like, hey, so I kind of feel like I know where they are, so you should probably do something about that. And Goku takes off, and Gohan's like, I want to go. And he's told no, but he ends up showing up anyway. I don't know where Goku came from, but he showed up too. Oh yeah, because then Goku starts fighting the Bio Warriors. I don't remember any of their names. I only remember the joke names that they gave them in Abridged.
Yeah, honestly.
The electricity guy freaked me out when he had, because at first he's just like, oh, I have an electric whip, and then like you actually see how it works, and it's like super unsettling.
Yeah,
it's like all these weird like snake-like wires coming out of his arms, and then they kind of like come together, and then electricity starts going through them, and then it's an electro whip. And it's just like, it looks super creepy.
All
like,
the
as
stuff
it's happening.
All the stuff down in Willow's lair is like really uncanny in this movie.
Yeah, and like the weird like spike ball pit.
Yeah, like something.
But
it's kind of bizarre though that like the movie has an interesting plot setup, but for the most part, the entire film is mostly just fight scenes.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh yeah, and they kidnapped Piccolo and brainwashed him.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
Had he merged with Kami by this point, or was he still just Piccolo?
No, this is long before that. That doesn't happen until like Androids.
Okay, so he's still not like Super Piccolo, we all know at this point he's kind of still sort of evil, but not really.
Well, he's not really. At this point, he already established his relationship with Gohan, so he wasn't evil, but he still wasn't like good boy Uncle Piccolo at this point.
So he's still in like his Vegeta phase right now, where he's like,
he's in denial about being a good guy. He's a good
Yeah.
guy, but he doesn't want to admit it.
yeah.
I did like
the-
that because we had
Vegeta-
like a Goku Piccolo fight in the previous movie, and it was kind of like
Yep.
a nothing fight. This one actually feels like a lot more earned.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's still not as good as their big fight in original Dragon Ball.
Well, I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but there are very few fights that can even be contenders for matching up to that one in Dragon Ball.
True. I mean, that's still arguably one of the best fights in the entire franchise, but
yeah, for sure. But yeah, like they're having their fight, and then like I don't know, like Cochin's just like calling Gohan a baby and telling him to run to his mommy. It just makes him real mad for some reason.
yeah. The writing in this movie isn't amazing either. I'm not gonna lie.
I'd still say it's better than Dead Zone. At least they follow the rules of the universe.
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
it's very cringy.
But like, it's the point where he's like making fun of him, and Wheeler's just like, dude, seriously, stop. It's just like, no, seriously though, stop. You're pissing him off, and it's not gonna work out. And Gohan gets real mad, and it like kind of like just destroys everything in the fucking lab.
Yeah, they had this weird like thing with Gohan early on where they like didn't want to really explain his powers yet.
Yeah, well, it was at a point where like he couldn't really control it. It was all pretty much based around his emotion, which I mean is pretty typical for Saiyans in general, but like it was especially so for him because in general he'd have a fairly low power level. But if he got mad, it would just be like, okay, so nobody could even touch him for like a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then he'd go right back to being like, Krillin level.
Poor Krillin.
Who he also gets owned a lot in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's here. I forgot
Krillin
was in this movie.
Yeah, they show up together. And I love how like when Goku's fighting like the 3 Bio Warriors and he gets frozen except like his entire body except for his head is frozen. And like he's about to get like completely taken out, and then Gohan and Krillin show up and they like deflect whatever attack was gonna hit him. And Krillin's like, Goku, if you had just, called me, you could have avoided this altogether. And then he just immediately gets just fucking mollywopped.
Well, yeah, because this is Krillin hadn't died for like the 3rd time yet, so he still had a bit of that cocky energy in him.
Yeah, he's still on his second life. He's fine.
Yeah, give it time.
Yeah, he dies a lot. Like if you take all of these different series and put them together, he's died like 5 or 6 times.
Which is funny because everyone always acts like Yamcha's the one that dies all the time, but like Yamcha, I think dies like once.
That's because Yamcha gives up after that, like that first time. He's like, "All right, I'm done. Like I'll train for the androids, but I'm gonna be useless." So
he's like, "I suck. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go play baseball."
As soon as he got the arm through the chest, he was like, "Yeah, that's it. I'm done. Putting down my fighting gi and just gonna go play baseball.
Gonna go play baseball and cheat on Bulma."
Yep. So yeah, Gohan like messes up the lab just by like yelling real loud. And Wheeler's like, all right, fuck this. And his big robot body with the brain comes out and he starts fighting. And then like the ground collapses and Cochin just kind of falls to his death. And like it's super weird because he's like an old man, but then like as he's falling, like his like skin comes off or something, and then it just like, oh, you're just a robot.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, if you're just a robot, why were you designed to look like the grossest old man imaginable?
Because aesthetics. He liked it
like,
that way.
It was like, what was even the point of that? And especially because like Bulma's like, oh, Dr. Wheeler and Dr. Cochin were like these 2 big controversial scientists and all this other stuff. It's just like, so is Cochin actually a person, or did he like convert himself into a robot, or was his like mind uploaded into a robot, like, or was he always a robot and just nobody knew it? Nobody knows.
Demon World.
Demon.
Demon World.
Wrong movie. Wrong movie, Phil. These are humans.
He's not canon, so it doesn't matter.
True. It's just one of those things where it's just like you wish they would. It was one of the downsides of them doing these like super short movies back in the days because they couldn't really like flesh it out in a way that would make it interesting.
Yeah,
you know? And this is one of the longer ones too. This was an hour long, which
it's
is
like
long. It's long compared to the other ones.
It's like just under an hour, but it's like the thing about this one is if like you're looking for like a deep story, you're not really gonna get it here because this is it's just fight scenes and Rain Man running around.
Honestly, when it comes to like original Z films, you're not gonna get like a really deep story until like Wrath of the Dragon.
Yeah, and that one's like too deep, in all honesty.
Yeah, which ironically is also what's his name, Jason Liebrick or something.
Yeah,
that's also he plays Tapion.
Yep. Yes, he does.
Which I didn't even know. It's one of those things where like I didn't notice him really until Attack on Titan as an actor, but I'd seen him in a ton of shit. I just never realized it was him.
Mm. Yeah,
like I had no idea he was. I had no idea that Zeke Yeager was Tapion. Like I no until this week when I looked it up.
Just anytime I hear his voice now, I'm just waiting for him to be like, "Yo, Levi."
I love that scene. He's just like, over here, bud.
It just gets
here's my neck.
Immediately murked.
It's hilarious. So yeah, Willow breaks out and he's just on a rampage, and we get a beam struggle, our first movie beam struggle, and this is like the last time we ever see the power pole used. Is like Gohan
to trip somebody.
Well, no, because Gohan takes it out because Gohan's the one who brought it, and he takes it out. He's like doing the classic martial arts thing where he's like swinging it around and like doing the spinny thing, and he goes to whack him with it, and he just gets whacked. And then Goku picks up the power pole and just uses it to trip the robot. And that's the last time we see the power pole into like Daima.
Yeah. Aside from like flashbacks.
Yeah, flashbacks, or like I think we see it connecting Korin's tower to Kami's lookout. Like it's just there. But aside from that, it's no longer a part of the story.
Well, he has just so many other like fuck you powers at this point.
Yeah, he does not need it at all.
Yeah. Also, the Goku does a spirit bomb in this, right?
Yeah, that's how he wins. Spirit bomb. This is the beginning of Spirit Bomb being the way he wins in every movie.
Cooler. Like little. Yeah, and even after that, he still uses it after Cooler too.
Yeah, he uses it in Super 13, but it was weird because he made the Spirit Bomb, but then he like absorbed the energy to like make himself stronger. And then in Broly, he didn't do a Spirit Bomb, but they all gave him his energy, and he used it in that way.
Wait a minute. So, he absorbed the Spirit Bomb to get stronger? Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, right.
You didn't go Ultra Instinct? Bullshit.
We also didn't get out. Yeah, because there was that in the Tournament of Power, and then also in the Moral arc when Vegeta was using his essentially a reverse Spirit Bomb. Yeah. Where he takes energy like how Spirit Bomb works, but he doesn't form an attack with it. He can just kind of move that energy where he wants to. But yeah, they pretty much they throw a Spirit Bomb at him, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, the Spirit Bomb works more often in the movies than it does in the show.
Yeah, it only works once in the show.
Yeah,
I mean, like it did ultimately make everything possible during the Frieza arc, because if he hadn't used the Spirit Bomb when he did, then Frieza would have just destroyed the planet. That would have been it. But it didn't do what he wanted, which was kill him. So
yeah, it's like the most inconvenient fucking weapon too.
And it's supposed to be like the ultimate trump card, and it just always fails.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what are you gonna do? But yeah, like all told, I definitely rank World's Strongest above Dead Zone.
I would too, as a pure junk food action movie, it's great, but it's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what it about it was. I didn't like it as much this time around watching it.
Well, honestly, like it also has the same pitfall where like the aesthetic of it just doesn't feel Dragon Ball.
No, well, they spend so much time in like the ice place, and then it's like underground in his lab, like most of it.
Yeah, and then like even like when you look at something like Super Broly, like even that like that also takes place in an ice setting, but it still feels like Dragon Ball. It still has the aesthetic of Dragon. I think it's the lighting. Honestly, they make it too dark. It's too dark. Somebody turn on the fucking light. It's too goddamn dark.
Like it's really annoying that even though like it's arguably the worst of the original three, Tree of Might feels the most like Dragon Ball.
In a way, in a way, I have my problems with Tree of Might, which we'll get into in the next time we cover Z movies. But honestly, I really don't think it's until borderline Lord Slug, but really the first Cooler movie is when it's like, okay, this is Dragon.
Yeah, yeah, because Lord Slug is pretty dark too.
Yeah,
But I
but
mean that actually that makes
at least they have
sense.
some interesting settings in that movie.
Realistically, with what's going on in Lord Slug, the darkness makes sense.
Yeah, because he has like the weird like cloud that covers the planet or whatever and makes it cold.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, like I think one of the I'm trying to think of like what movie feels the most Dragon Ball. I almost kind of want to say like BoJack.
BoJack's up there. I love Super Android 13.
Yeah.
Um,
Also ice setting.
yeah, that is weird now that I
But
think about it.
they have like a little city skirmish and then they move to the ice area for some reason.
See, I think I like Super Android 13 more just because it's funny,
Yeah.
unintentionally funny at times.
Goku gets punched in the dick.
Yeah, that sure does have. There's that his Texas accent and his trucker cap. Um,
Yep. Yeah, Chuck Huber doing a Texas accent. It's pretty funny.
Chuck Huber has the weirdest range. He like does two characters, but then he actually when he does different shit, it's like wow, this guy actually is pretty good.
It's like, oh, where did that come from?
Um, I still think my favorite Dragon Ball movie at this point is still Fusion Reborn, but
When it comes to classic movies, yeah, Fusion Reborn is, if not at the tippy top, it's within the top three for sure.
yeah, it'll be interesting going through them to see where they line up because like I was kind of surprised, like because I remember really liking World's Strongest, but coming back, I'm like, it was okay,
All right, so
honestly.
just for the fun of it, just because like we're only just now starting to get into the Z movies, when it comes to the original 13, what would you rank as your top three?
Top three as of now.
Like before having the rewatch and actually discussing them all, what are your top three?
Fusion Reborn, Super Android 13. I think Dead Zone actually. I think those are my favorite, the top three I really like.
Really? Okay.
Those are
I'd
the
say for
ones I went
me,
back to the most, anyways.
fair. I'd say for me, it's probably also Fusion Reborn, Wrath of the Dragon, and the last one fluctuates, but it's between the first Cooler movie and BoJack.
I gotta rewatch BoJack. That's the one I only watched it once, and I have just kind of
See,
like
BoJack feels like the perfect capper. It's like it's like it just feels right, like finishing the Cell arc and like seeing Trunks kill his future androids and stuff, and then moving into BoJack before you get into like the time skip. It just fits perfectly.
hmm,
And also, you get Mr. Satan shenanigans, which is always fun.
yeah.
And we got a cool fight between Tien and Trunks. Um, we get to see like cool Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan one more time wearing Goku's gi, which is pretty cool. There's all sorts of cool stuff, and like that, and there's the way that tournament is set up. Like, there's all sorts of different settings. Like, different fights happen in different settings,
That's also
which
the
is
last
really fun.
appearance. That's also the last appearance of Classic Chi Chi
Hmm,
before she went with
true.
the before she just decided to age herself with her hairstyle.
Oh yeah, we got the first instance of Chi Chi and Bulma like arguing over like which one of their kids is going to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And also, this is the movie because like Vegeta goes through his little depression after Goku dies in the Cell arc. This is the movie where you kind of see him turn it around and be like, "All right, I'm jumping in."
Oh yeah. It's still not as emo as Vegeta is in Future Reborn. That is the most emo Vegeta I think we've ever had. Um,
Yeah, possibly.
Next time you watch it, just look at his mannerisms in that movie. He is so fucking emo for no reason.
Yeah, I am really looking forward to when we do get to the last two. I don't know, depending on how it goes, because we got to mix the specials in there too, like both the two
Yeah.
we got in English. But I also do think we should cover episode of Bardock, Yosa Goku and Friends Return, and Plan to Eradicate the Super Saiyans.
Yeah.
I do think we should also cover those three, but
Yeah. Those the only unfortunate thing is those aren't dubbed. They never will be. But
yeah, unfortunately, but I do think they're worth watching, at least just for the sake, because we're already going through all the movies. We might
I
as
mean
well cover those too.
the one with Vegeta's brother is fun. Also, it's like the only time
That was
Launch
like a
is
slice of life.
Yeah, he remembered Launch for like 2 seconds. She doesn't do anything in the movie, but she's there.
I don't even think she speaks, but
No,
she's
she
there.
does. Blue Launch is in the background of one shot. Like,
Yeah. And that episode of Bardock is just like, okay, here we are. Maybe
like,
we'll do both Bardock specials together.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be a bit because we're gonna rotate around. I think next week, yeah, we'll do Inuyasha next. So.
Yeah. That'll be real, Bill. One of the biggest, I mean, obviously I was due for a rewatch anyway because it's been a long time. But one of the biggest reasons is because like I feel guilty about doing so many Dragon Ball ones. So it's like, all right, I gotta throw Bill a bone. I gotta rewatch Inuyasha so we can do some episodes on that.
We'll cover the show. We'll cover the movies. We'll cover Final Act, and we'll wrap it up covering Yashahime.
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe talk about the Yashahime manga, depending on how it goes.
At some point, we'll see. Right now, I'm still collecting Soul Eater. I actually just ordered 5, 6, and 7, so those will be here soon. Oh yeah, I ordered. I took advantage of Amazon Prime Day and I ordered the Trigun box set.
Nice.
So I got the original Trigun anime coming, so that'll be good. I actually really enjoyed that show. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it.
It's on the list of. I'll get to it eventually. There's like, unfortunately, that list
It's
is
short.
big.
It's only like 20. It's only like 25 episodes total. And
I have to knock those big ones out first.
Yeah. Like I said, I think My Hero and JoJo's are comparable in length. I think they're about the same.
Yeah, I want to watch My Hero just because I know the final season's coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of timing out pretty good.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, I think we got an hour and 43 out of this one, so I think it'll be a good enough.
I think it's about the length of both movies that we covered.
Probably a little longer. Honestly, I think we covered Darker Than Black about as long as Dead Zone is. So
yeah, this is true. Well, there was a lot to squeeze in there. They established a lot in those first 2 episodes.
That's fair. But yeah, I guess anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. My brain is mush. Including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of different videos, blogs, podcasts. Current game of the month is Dragon Ball Z, Legend of Goku 2?
Legacy
of Goku 2. Tony already won, but hey, you can still play it.
Everyone should play it. It's an amazing game.
It's for the time it came out, it is surprisingly deep. That is one way I'll put it. But anyways, guys, yeah, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.